Okay, hello, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning. I'm Jan Vorak, aka Storyteller, and today I am joined by Jan Küster or Jan Kapunkt on GitHub. And what we are going to do is we are going to go to Blaze.js and merge some pull requests, and then also go do some community packages merging as well. For those of you who don't know, Blaze.js is the original front end for Meteor.js. And it's kind of like, let's say, handlebars would be kind of the best comparison to other frameworks that have been used in the past. So it's been around for a while. It's made to really work primarily with Meteor, like exclusively at this stage, though in the future there are plans to have it become independent, and it's really nice for reactive data. And we are preparing it primarily for Meteor 3 to work well with async await. And of course, some other goodies. Anything else to add to this, Jan?
Not right now. Maybe later when we check out some issues, pull requests, code, whatever there is.
Yeah, so full disclosure, it has been a while since I actively worked with Blaze, so I will be here more of a maintainer and managing stuff. So with that said, let's get us started. So this is the Blaze repository. It's under Meteor, and we have 12 pull requests here. And I think we can start from the bottom. This is one of your
Yeah.
pull requests. And
Yeah.
the first issue here, as always, is that the tests are not passing after we've merged from 3.0 and even before. So
Yeah, there's also the other problem that it's the design I chose to make the test. So the background of this pull request was basically when you have an error in Blaze, then you don't get a nice descriptive error on which line something happens and stuff, and but you only get this very cryptic error. And I've chose a method to let the users inject some kind of an exception handler, and then you can use your own tooling and logging and whatever you want. But what I didn't know, or what I didn't consider in this setup, and as you can see when you scroll down a little bit, I didn't consider that this would break basically the way how Monty APM or other logging tools, APM tools will work. And there is this comment from Zolan addressing that. And since then, I didn't found quite the time to work on this again, because I have to not only rewrite it or update it, but I have to think about a design that takes all these things into account. But it's not undoable. It's not impossible. It's simply I need to take my time and find a different design.
sounds good. So that one right now here is a pass, not ready.
No, not ready.
Yeah. So next one we have, and I think I've looked at it a while back,
Me too.
is this refactoration tools to move to ES6 version.
Mhm.
And it's
Correct.
HTML tools, HTML.js. So this one is, let's check first at the very end. There are still some comments here, some nitpicking questions. So there's still a lot of things, but the tests are passing. So that's
And
a positive thing. So let's scroll at top of these relatively new.
what we should do here is do another merge of the recent 3.0 things, because I think the last merge is a little time ago. And what I think is that the covered packages, HTML, JS, and HTML tools are not really affected by the current async migration, I think, which is why it's fine to merge them. I'm just looking again at the changes.
Yeah, I'm update my local branches here as well, so I can work on that. So there is a lot of comments from Daniel. So that's, I think I would really like if who was it that put it in? Gunspektas, I'm guessing, name, if could fix those or address those questions from Daniel before we move forward on this. Because some of this DOS, like this one that should be addressed very easily or fixed.
I think also when reviewing here, I think there are two kinds of views in GitHub to review things. And this is when you're on the file changes page, when you go to the page of file changes there, then you have two ways of arranging the things you want to review. And there is this, you see this this wheel with the wheel button.
Yeah.
You click on it, split or unified view. You can even hide white space, so the view might be easily adjusted. So if the one is not good enough, then you can try the other.
Yeah, this one, I kind of like this one because I can see it side by side. It's not all encompassing, but it's work.
Yeah. So I think as well, so shortly addressing these issues, I mean, we are aware of this and we might also join the conversation then if there is no result coming up. But apart from that, from my end, I think it was quite well to merge it, right?
Yeah, it's, the tests are passing at the most important part. I think it would require a bit more testing. Let me look on comments. So let me just add here, gonna push this and ping this. Let's go back on top and move on, because I would really like to have that.
Me too.
We'll come back to release 3 in a bit. This
can I before we go to the next, I just want to add something here, so this is also for the viewers to know. I opened some issues some while ago, and I was thinking about, like, can we move Blaze at least to ES6, because it's like a 10-year-old library basically. There's a lot of very old style code. There are some outdated concepts, like there were globals introduced, polluting global scope. Even when it's only on package level, it's not a good practice, because we can use modules everywhere. So we have lots of good opportunities right now to make this a much more readable and more understandable library for everyone, which is why I was thinking, let's move parts of the code step by step to ES6. And we should keep that in mind, continuing that. So it's better for everyone to understand this library step by step, right?
Yes. That kind of is related to this, the refactor Blaze to move ES6 version, which I think I've commented on here. And it's like, if you look like files change 75.
Yeah. It was a little bit much.
That's like, for me, immediately is oh my God, no, please no. And that's why I kind of said, let's split this up. This, it should be up. And get this in ASAP. The main reason for this is, if it's so much, it's hard to review. More likely there to be issues and all that stuff. So I think what I'm going to do is we'll have to kind of recheck this one, but I'm going to, let's see, how many comments do we have here?
Yeah, the problem is that the commits are not split by package, so it's
so that's like another way.
So Blaze has like, I think, 10 or 12 packages. So Blaze itself is not only one package. When you take a look at the code structure, then you see that it's like a combination of multiple packages working together as Blaze. And my idea was that we use a package by package refactoring to ES6, but it's not 100% possible because some package imply globals that are defined on another package. So it might be some kind of, sometimes having 2 or 3 packages at the same time, depending on. But if we can move one package to ES6 step by step, that would be terrific because it's easy to review. Most of these packages have maybe 4 or 5 files, so it's not that they are
difficult. So for those listening, if you want to jump in and quickly do it, some of the smaller ones, you are welcome. If I don't have any call-ins today, then I will probably do that, do this part in the second half of the show. So that's I'm gonna supersede this into smaller ones, so it's easier to manage and get in. All these bumps, those are the documentations site, which I think since 2 years back I looked into bumping the Hexo version, all that stuff, and run into problems, but that was on the main Meteor repository because of some specific things. But let me check quickly. I will see the okay. So yeah, it was I think specifically related to this templating thing. That the way it's being used is no longer possible in the future version of Hexo, which is this.
Can you explain shortly what's Hexo?
Hexo is a static site builder that was used back at the beginning of Meteor to build these documentations, and I don't really know too much about it. So when I was like looking at it, I do believe it's quite popular in the APAC region, or kind of in that region, possibly I think originating maybe from China or something like that. And I think one of the original developers of Meteor, or one of the contributors, had some ties to it, and that's why they chose it, or at least he was very knowledgeable with it. And so, of course, if you have somebody on a team who knows some framework in and out, then you're going to go with that. But that's been quite a while ago, and when I tried to kind of fix it and upgrade it, it was not trivial because, as I said, there was of these API boxes and something specific in the theme as well. But that might be, again, might take a look
But can you please stay on this documentation side for a while? I think it's a good opportunity to start a discussion on our GitHub repository about what we want to do with the documentation. If we want to keep Hexo, if we want to move to something else that is nowadays like de facto standard for documentation pages. because I was also thinking about things like search indexing or something like this, other features, theming, like light theme, dark theme, and so on. And I mean, we don't need to immediately start doing that, but there might be some discussion on our GitHub Blaze repo, adding a new idea. And so yeah, I would start this discussion. You could talk, for example, a bit about
I would be fine in exploring moving possibly to Dokusaurus, which I think right now is the current standard for documentation, and it's like the version 3 is out. Last time I checked, it was like version 2 something. And they also use Algolia for search, which is what the main repo uses, or main Meteor documentation uses as well. So I'm fully open to this. Plus, the only thing there is, if I remember correctly, it's using React. So maybe with Blaze, we would either want maybe use Blaze as well for it, or might not be necessarily.
If that's possible, that would do.
Yeah, but I'm not exactly sure if that's a entirely good idea to kind of have, we have like, this is a front-end library and everything, and it's for documentation we use React. That's something to consider as well. So, but yeah, current standard is Dokusaurus. I think it's also, this one is one big thing what I would really love to achieve, and which I also tried with Hexo and failed at, even though, well, it wasn't really nice. I kind of failed because it wasn't a nice solution. It was kind of hacking and the duplication, but there is the internationalization, which is something that I would really love to do for the documentation.
Yeah, I created a discussion on the Blaze repository on GitHub. So you just need to reload the page, then you might see discussions there, don't you? Yeah. Now there are discussions, and I was putting this under ideas for now. So anybody has some idea, some input, please comment, please participate, and let's find some solution for that. This also makes, in my opinion, all these Hexo related pull requests right now something somewhat stale, because I think you told me that it might not be possible to simply bump them, because then it breaks the site, the page. So they're like won't fix, or what is that? I would label them like won't fix.
I would say won't fix because we want to update. We just need to take the time, and I think if the original issue I had in the Meteor documentation was related to the Meteor specific theme, then it might be easier to fix here because it's a separate theme than in Meteor itself. So
but still, I would, in that case, I would at least close these pull requests so they are simply not annoying us anymore. Because if we can merge them anyway, because they are basically crashing our theming, then we might have to manually work on this anyway. Then we can close these PR, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. So this is in site. Let me just quickly check here. Yeah. Processing, and will handle manually with fish.
Yeah.
So let's close that in. The same thing here. Maybe like there was also like some conflict with one of the dependencies.
Yep.
Delete the branch as well. A bit of a
So we're doing this right now, not because we are simply ignoring dependabot updates. Usually this is a very good tool that you get automatically updates in your package.json dependencies, and then it allows you to stay up to date, especially when some vulnerabilities or something is involved. But right now we have to keep the documentation page running somehow. And if this is breaking, then it doesn't bring us further unless we would allocate immediately time for now to work on this page. But that we can't do because we don't want to decide as to, we are now using Dockosaurus and then eat or die. So we opened the discussion to let the community get involved in that, right?
Yeah. So we were there. Then this one is more of a technical Meteor version 3 added alpha package bump. That's the special branch that the Meteor team is using primarily just to bump the packages version. So Meteor 3 versions are working correctly. So that brings us to that we need to take a look on these two, and then we go to release 3.0 to see where we can progress. So we have here from Daniel, and it looks like I haven't had even time to look at it. So first of all, promises returning functions. So this was also related to 3.0. So what I want to do here is take a look. We have here, if we look back, and this is what Daniel is also commenting right now, that Radix pull requests were merged, which we see right here. And I think that will be something we'll have to really kind of look into, if we can maybe release like a minor version with these things, because also added documentation for async. So it adds some like initial support for async stuff, if I remember correctly, or actually it might be actually the full support. So we have changes here, async sequences, async conditions, or if I just quickly go here. Yeah, that was it. So I think that for the most part should be fine. Let me do a quick merge here into the release 3.0. So they did some. So let's do the master in there. So we can merge that. Some conflict in history. So we need to do it. Nope. Way around. Because we had two more versions there. So released. So let's merge that. I want to also take a look quickly here. Okay, remote. I just want to have a lot of branches. So we'll have to take a look here. We'll have to update this branch with going into master. So let's see if we can actually get it. No, we'll have to do it manually, and it's because it's from trusted care. So that will have to be updated and tested with all of that stuff. And let me just quickly check it. So here it's just packages version for Meteor 3. Let's see, where's the Meteor 3 branch? It's like over here. So again, this is just the versions and all that stuff. I don't see. Yeah, that looks, that's just like that. Here might be some testing fixes. That might be something we might want to potentially merge into the 3.0 as well.
Yeah, just one comment from myself. Can you zoom in a little bit here, because I think it's a little bit small.
Let's see if we can do that. Full screen. Down here. Let's go.
Oh yeah, that's way better. That's already
all right. So, and Blaze. So we had like Blaze 2.7. Then we had this changelog updated. That was merge into master. And yeah, I think we want to definitely get these fixes into our 3.0 branch, but let's kind of wait on that and see. So let's quickly check in here. Okay, I will have to really kind of. I think Daniel also mentioned it's a bit stale, so I think I'm going to do here is replace spacebar dot with rewritten version fixing returning functions. So I am first of all going to target this under the 3.0 release.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to ask, well, so I'm going to check if we can make some automatic updates. No. And there are some conflicts, so I'm going to ask Daniel if he can update it.
It is always a bit annoying when it tells me that there are conflicts, when GitHub doesn't show me which parts are actually conflicting, and yeah.
So Daniel, who is also listening, if you can please update it, will be great, so we can move this forward. And then we have here, but that's kind of still work in progress, fix observes sequence. So what is that all about, Jan?
Yeah, there was this issue that so basically Blaze has this feature that it observes a sequence as a told when passed to each handler. Allows you to have this nice reactivity when you have children in a list where the updates are a little bit more granular, so it should not render the whole list, but only parts of the list. So when you take a look in the issue, yeah, then no, in the linked issue, this observe sequencer, this is still not 100% complete, but when you take a look in the issue, then there's the problem that you have a nested property and you put it into each, then it doesn't re-render when this nested part of the property actually re-renders. And we had some discussion on this, and then I got some kind of a replication, and there's also related to some underscore implementation used. So what I'm doing is, or what I did is creating this pull request to at least address this issue directly. And I still have no confirmation if this fixes basically the issue. So if someone wants to test this locally, we have a guide on the Blaze.js repository on how to set up Blaze locally and use it with your project. And then you can just check out this fix observe sequence dot values branch and then run this against your test setup. And right, so when you see this guide contributing to Blaze, this also includes how to set up Blaze and how to include this inside your running project. And then you can use whatever version or branch you've checked out from the repository. So what this pull request, going back to this pull request, what it basically needs is, or what I wanted to have before going further into this, before writing tests, because writing tests is always a little bit time consuming, time intensive, and so on. I wanted to first have some basic confirmation if this all works without some other edge cases or problems being raised by this fix, and because it's a complex project and there are many projects using this with different setups on their own edge cases and so on. And I wanted to just have some basic confirmation, but I'm thinking it's always a little bit hard for people to set up this on their local development environment. So I was thinking maybe we could find, this is also some input for the whole people working on Blaze, if we can find some kind of a process that when working on new Blaze features or fixes or whatever, that we constantly create some RC releases, because it's easier for people to install an RC release than doing this local setup. And maybe we can improve the CI/CD pipeline, because currently we only have CI, but we don't have like a constant deployment. For example, like if this is a fix and I don't know, there's certain criteria met, then pushes an RC or something. Would be an interesting idea. Maybe we can find something there. I don't know.
Yeah, I would be for that. I don't think I have the permissions to release Blaze. It's a bit more complex pipeline because it kind of goes through all the packages and does it all together. But I think what we had, if we look here, we have the releases from Radoslav to, so we can, I think, do like a version or like, yeah, we could definitely do a release candidate here if, or I think we definitely should. So that's something to add to our, and that will be 2.8, or we can jump straight into releasing a release candidate for 3.0. Now that we have it in there, which would not solve the issues that the Meteor team is having of constantly having to update the versions for Meteor 3 releases. But once we actually fully release this, then it shouldn't be a problem to do. So, but anyway, let's take a quick break. Some of you might have noticed that I'm running like a Pomodoro timers in the corner here. Kind of already gotten into the break a lot, so we'll just relatively shortly, and in the future we'll try to get it more kind of more adhere to this. So we'll just take a little bit break from the next work group. And that will be probably all we have time with for Jan for the next 25 minutes. So, okay, so do a quick stretch and we'll continue.
Yeah. Moving. Where's the instructor?
Indeed. So I am going to ask Gabriel to see if we can get a release candidate for like either 2.8 with the changes from specifically from Radoslav to kind of get the async in there, or if we can maybe go to 3.0. Which would you prefer? Still like to do 2.8?
Yeah, definitely. No, I would definitely first go with the 2.8 because this integrates much more in the current setup many people of us have, and we are basically still, I mean, this is since we talked about the survey results that most people are still in the process of migrating. And I think doing a 2.8 release, incorporating all these fixes, or makes it much better for us, step by step aligning with the 3.0, which is coming up later on. So
okay, so I started the release 2.8 branch. So I'll get Gabriel. By the way, Gabriel, watching this, happy birthday! Like today's Gabriel's birthday. I'll have him I'll request from him to release the 2.8, say release candidate 1, so that we can get more testing on it and forward with that. So, actually, I wanted to kind of quickly check here on the 3.0. We had some, we have in 3.0 fiber removal from the code space. We have some updates to Uglify, some white space elimination in template dynamic, and should be faster.
Yeah.
So when it comes to fragment parsing a bit. So that said, if anybody else wants to contribute to the 3.0 release, you're welcome. We'll hopefully get this, the observer sequence, probably into the earliest release that we can get, 2.8 or then 3.0, right. Whichever, whenever you're ready to merge it, can be done. And as I said, in the second half, I'll probably jump on refactoring this big PR into individual small ones.
Yeah, I mean, there's one thing, right? Meteor's browser bundling anyway automatically handles these browser.legacy issues, right? So I think this is from what I've seen, this is fine if we have the packages all moved to ES6, so we shouldn't consider any of these outdated browser things. There's one thing though we need to keep in mind, back in mind. Blaze is actually in some of their core functionality still backed by some crucial jQuery functionality, and so I know some people will already think like, what's jQuery? What's going on? Isn't this ancient?
What century is this?
Yeah, what century? What? So, but it's because it's baked in very deep. I tried to get rid of jQuery once, and I awfully failed simply because like one of the backbones of how Blaze adds things to the DOM and removes things from the DOM actually uses jQuery functionality, and it takes a little bit more time than just keeping it out and finding a substitute functionality that easy. It's not impossible, but I just want to say it's baked in very deep, and this also raises, at least from my point of view, also the point that we should discuss if there might be in the future a major rewrite of Blaze anyway. This is also not because only of that topic with jQuery, but also during whatever will come up when the 3.0 migration is done, and there may be some compatibility issues with Tracker and things, and we have to stay free in our mind to think about things like this, that a major rewrite might be necessary or might be even unavoidable or might be something we simply want. So, but again, this is a topic to discuss. This is not a topic we can decide on our own or simply just go. So this requires planning, input, discussion, and so on, right?
Yeah. So we'll leave that at that. And now I would like to look on what's a very common topic discussed by some, which are community packages. And I would would like to take a look on some of these that we have going on here and see if we can move them forward. So I know Autoform is Blaze related. Let's see. Then we have the main repository, collection 2, Mocha, browser test. And I think most of it's going to be here on the second page. Stop me if I missed something. So we have Autoform here.
Yeah.
And we have autocomplete.
Not so
Autoform.
Yeah, there's also Autoform.
And then there's maybe account testing. So
Meteor Tabular, did you see it? I think it was the first
Tabular.
one. Did you open Tabular already? It was so Tabular is definitely there. Yeah, Tabular.
I don't think so. So let's start with Tabular.
Yeah.
And see if we can actually hopefully maybe get a new version here. That would be the best scenario.
I think the biggest thing what's required for this package right now is some CI and tests being updated to Mocha and Chai, because it's this is a fix for XSS sanitation. I think I already worked on that already a little bit, and I reviewed it a little bit, and I think there's only a small thing here to address, because I'm always favoring not to use the in operator in JavaScript because it's fundamentally unsafe. I mean, we are working on the client here, but it's
can you go more into this? Why is it unsafe?
Yeah, I can. So the in operator basically checks for a property being present, or if and not this in operator. So there are two ways of in operators. There's the in operator where I can ask, like, is property in object, but this is not the one we want here. This is the for in construct, and this is something way different than the in operator. This iterates over all properties of an object, but this also iterates over properties that might be in the inherited in the prototype chain of the object. So not only the own properties of the object. And if you don't know what that is, then I can highly suggest to read a little bit up on JavaScript prototype inheritance. And this is always this whole usage of in operators for checks and validations is always like a little pitfall for prototype pollution coming into your project. And let's try to not use them as much as possible unless we explicitly need them, and use something like object.keys, object.values, object.entries, object own property names, and so on, because these are actually only using the own properties of the object and not properties from the parent super object, which also includes things like prototype, and so on. We don't want that. But yeah, again, coming back to this pull request, if we take a look at that, I think apart from this is already fine. There's also another pull request, is at ESLint custom search and fixed memory leak, which is we are working on right now, and this is close to be merged. So there will be a new release candidate. I already wrote on that. So there will be today or tomorrow there will be 2.2.0 RC. Maybe I can also, if this issue I talked about is addressed with the for in the other pull request, it might be also included there. Then we have a new release candidate, and then tabular users may use this. And this is, for example, something I described for Blaze as well. Making a release candidate, people can easily use this and install this on their own machines without having to set up the whole dev environment and so on. And I would favor this because it's easier to get feedback, right?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I'll leave this, I guess, this entire package completely to you, because it looks like
yeah, but I could need some help still, because I used Tabula a long time ago, but we had some own implementations later on with our table views and how we do paginations and all that stuff. So I'm not really into it from that perspective anymore. I still do reviews, try to help out, and like here now doing a new release candidate, but I'm a little bit relying on what the people actually respond. And maybe I can get some support here as well, someone who is willing to actively help out or doing reviews, doing testing. That would be great.
Yeah, I think in short, this kind of falls into that, we are maintaining it, but we need somebody who is actively using it and has more of an interest in maintaining it than us, to join the team and take ownership of this. So here is opportunity. So let's move on to, we have a lot of autoforms, I do believe. Autoform. So let's check if you have, okay. The date time picker doesn't have any pull requests, but my God, it's been
ages. But there is actually an issue in Blaze itself where this date time picker is actually used as an example where an internal of Blaze is problematic, because there's a third-party package, this date time picker, Bootstrap date time picker, is manipulating the DOM. And this is outside of the way Blazes can follow up with this, and this causes some trouble because it's not tracked anymore, this DOM manipulation. So it's not reactive, and then we have the problem, you remove things but they are still drawn on keep drawn and stuff like that.
It uses this moment times old time zone as well. So
yeah,
this one, first of all, I would probably create here update. Let's do a feature request, update moment packages to use npm and offset. So Don't have a good first issue here, but let's just put it under enhancements.
Yeah, I can work on that.
Yeah, so I'll leave that kind of one thing that I saw there immediately to kind of update this more in general. And I think with that related comes, of course, all the CI and everything else. So here we have button group input. Also super old. Let us check quickly the packages. At least that's up to date, the API here. It's also relies on relatively new auto form. I think the templating version here could be updated, or we could use to a certain degree API versions from, but nothing that's pressing. Just some small things.
Yeah.
For first-time contributors to join in.
Definitely. Yeah.
So then we have this another date picker here. Let me check primarily over here. So that's the same issue as before, plus there are some issues here, I think, similar to what you referenced before. So I'll leave that up because we have soon to go. And we have the autocomplete, autoform. Let me just quickly jump through here and themes.
Yeah. So in the autoform themes, I mean, all the most stuff is what I contributed based on other contributions here. There was an introduction of an autocomplete functionality, and I need to do some testing much more. But basically, if these things are addressed, then we could merge that. Apart from that, I already added a Bootstrap 5 theme, which was not that much to do. But if somebody else having other themes to add who wants to use autoforms, I don't know, with Tailwind or something, then please go forward. It's actually not that hard. You simply copy one of these folders there, rename them, make sure all the paths and the naming inside are renamed. Like when it's Tailwind, you replace everything that's with Bootstrap 5 to Tailwind, and then you have to assign the correct classes to the several components. That was
okay,
the
and these are then independent packages by themselves. So it's
yes.
autoform Bootstrap 5. Okay.
They are independently published. It's just like a monorepo-ish style. I keep them
which
all.
makes sense for these themes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to quickly the select 2.
Yeah.
So I see you already started working on 4.0.
Yeah, but I had not much response. So it's a little bit always a problem. Like there seem to be some there seem to be some instances out there running on this, and you check on Packosphere, seeing the download count or the apps using this, it's still pretty high. But the question is, who is using that, and if they're interested in improvement, or if this is all just legacy stuff, just running for the sake of running. And I need some more response on that to keep working on it. Otherwise, it's currently a little bit stale. Yeah.
So, okay. So Daniel here has a question, bit off topic. Is there a solution way to make sure validate a package has been checked for 2.8 async or Meteor 3? You have to log onto the repository, or it will be written on the top. We have right now, since Meteor 3 is in alpha, it's the easiest way for 2.8 is to actually check if the API.versions from is at 2.8 or similar or higher number. That will usually give you a hint that it has been adjusted for that. But yeah, it's mostly right now we have to check manually for that. So back to here to Autoform before you have to run as well. Okay, so we'll have to figure out how to get more people involved. Maybe we should release like a patch version or something that will just add like a debug log that, hey, if you're using this package, please contact us here or something like that.
Yeah, we should consider this for some of the packages that we are rarely using, but still people around may use this. So we could do that. So people get prepared. There might be some warnings on your consoles.
Yes, that might be. It's an annoyance, but it works. It will get usually people come in or at least complain that that's happening.
Yeah. So there is this autocomplete. This is something. Yeah. First, we definitely have to get rid of it. I mean,
I've started on this, and I've used like some sort of a script. And
nothing against script. It's just we don't know it.
Yeah. So I would really need somebody to come in here, help me to kind of finish things up.
Yeah, you can put me as a reviewer here, so I get pinged, and I can also take a look over it. Yeah.
Because I think what I did, so I migrated everything over, and we went from 0.5 to made a major version bump because of the change. Also, the API versions it's been a while, so it's 1.9. So this will have to be bumped to 1.12.1 at the very least. So that's all, but I think that should be. Yeah, and primarily then I need somebody to actually go in and test this and to tell me that it works. We have some tests here. So that might be another thing that we need to get up and running, which is an ongoing issue in general. And if we had like some really nice and easy way to kind of synchronize all to have kind of the tests work the same way, that's an ongoing thing. So this one is kind of stuck. Well, we have like all these, but we'll have to. Let's see here. There's a quick one here. Change to the README, which I think we can just merge without any problem. What do you think, Jan?
Yeah, the thing is that I'm not really into this package right now. I can't really say something about it. I didn't use it actually because I implemented autocomplete a little bit differently, and so I can't really say something about this right now.
Okay, so Mizao had here, the original creator had here some stuff. So I'll just add you as a reviewer.
Yeah, that's okay.
For this to have a check on it, but I think this one should be like a quick win, and for the rest, we'll have to kind of transform that into the new JavaScript version once that is done.
Yeah.
So
I also have to leave in minutes.
Yes. So let's quickly tell us what's the status with Autoform itself.
So Autoform is basically still one of my most beloved packages for Blaze because like I have 3 apps working mostly by creating custom forms for Autoform. It's really great. And it's very extensible and customizable and stuff. I really love this package. The problem is, and I just realized that it's a problem a few months ago, it's tightly coupled to Simple Schema, and Simple Schema dropped all media support with beginning of version 3.0. And I'm still working on a solution. I'm also in the talks with some people from the community what they think about this, because there are already newer things of schema validator libraries like COD. JSON schema is very popular, not only in the JavaScript community, but, and that's the big but, they are not as customizable in terms of custom validations and extensioning like Autoform is, and like Simple Schema is, and Autoform is building on top of that, that you can extend your schemas in a way that custom namespaces are introduced, custom functionality, like the custom function for your validation, calling a server function, do the validation, giving you a result back, and so on. This is something that is very powerful in Simple Schema, and Autoform builds on top of that. So this is where we need really, again, some discussion. I will open in the discussion page a section on that, and we need to move forward with this and the whole Simple Schema thing. I think the new Jam packages are somewhat promising in that term, and so yeah, let's move into the discussion and try to move forward here to get. It will be definitely a new major release, Autoform 8, in order to make this all work out. But we can't move on with the current status because we're locked on Simple Schema 1.7 something, and my NPM audit is saying that's not cool. Or like one dot.
What about the 7.1 that's here? Just
Yeah, I'm scaling this right now because I think we should then we could incorporate this, but in the end, there's also the question if we have any way to change all the overall ecosystem when it relies on Simple Schema, then we may have to change this as well again. So I will come back to this, look again at it, and then make a decision whether it's mergeable into 7.1.0 or if there will be it will be part of the next major version. When it depends on the effort mostly.
Sounds good. Okay, if you have to run, thank you very much, Jan.
Yeah, thank you.
We didn't merge as many things, but at least we kind of went through it, and hopefully people can kind of see where we are at with everything. So thank you very much. Just before you go, where can people find you? Anything like that?
You can find me on GitHub with the Jan Küster username, but you can also find me, of course, on the Meteor forums with Jan Küster, but with UE, and but also in the Slack and in the Discord for the community. And if you have something to say, just ping me. You can also take a look at my sponsors page. Of course, you can do. And so please let me know what you think, or if there's something, reach out to me. And if not otherwise, see you all on Friday. Bye.
Okay, talk to you later. So we are back. I'm going to take a quick break for toilet and all that stuff. After all, I've been drinking my tea here, almost done. So action and reaction waits. And in the second half, I will, if you're one of my sponsors, please let me know in a chat or on Slack, and I'll be happy to provide you with the link to join me here. And I will be starting with moving things to or kind of as I promised, moving things onto kind of splitting up the ES6 transition package forward. So, but before that, I do need to kind of create something to tell you guys that I'll be right back. So let's do that, and let's pick up some nice appropriate theme, which I don't see any, which is unfortunate. But so I'll pick this simple dark. New slide. Let's pick up some nice outline. break. So let's see if I can see how we can do this simply. Meantime, let me know if you have any questions or recommendations, or would you like to look on something specific, or anything that you would like to talk to. I'm open to any topics or almost any topics. So let me get that sorted out. Yikes, it did not like that presentation that I made here in the hurry. And okay, maybe now. Let's give it another try. Just a moment, guys. That's when we are working doing demos live. So yes, we have this. Okay, so I'll be right back. That's the all right, and I am back. Let's switch things around. Let's start the time tracker and let's get going. So since there isn't that many people watching, what I'm going to do, and hopefully I will not regret it. So anybody who's watching, I just posted a link in the chat so you can join me on the stage as well if you so choose to. And let us now go quickly to the original issue we had here. So that was right here. Somebody is writing me. Okay, so it's just unrelated to this right now. Let's take a look. So also let me get my snack going. so that I have more energy, because I have been keeping long nights and things are pretty sketchy. So we have that set up. We need to get back to Meteor over here. And I'm guessing you will want to zoom in. Not as big, but we'll have to. We will not be needing this thing, not this thing either. And let's switch out of this. So in order to get to Blaze, if you are having just your Meteor checkout, it's very simple. Under packages, there should be, let's see, should be somewhere. It would be probably non-core or some folder like that. So let's check that here. Yes, non-core Blaze. That's where the repository lives at. And let's us switch back here to Blaze up the front. Let me, this will be needed, this will be needed, this will be needed, this as well. This not for now, this not for now. This I still have to work on. And you can do that. So we are back. Let's move to, it's going to be a major refactor. So question is if we want to do it from development or from release 3.0. That's always a big choice. Let's take a look. Old one, I move it to focus on release 3.0. Let's see how to best approach this. I look back here. Then here it's doing a lot more migration, like adding extra thing that might not necessarily be needed, which are stylistic choices, which means that then this entire thing gets exploded in size. So that should either be automated, which this probably was. That's my guess. A lot of these fixes, because it's not something that you do manually. So I would say any of this, like, removing function and all that stuff, that's not necessary. So it's a lot of stylistical things, which really explodes things. And like, for example, here we have the old code, which is still fine. It's not as pretty as the new template literals. Correct. It's been over 5 years, almost maybe seven since they were implemented. I might feel old. So, but it's still completely fine and not something that needs to be changed immediately or worried about. What is definitely useful, for example, changing this for in to do this for each and stuff like that. So looking at this, and this thing here, that might be fixing actual bug. So looking at this, I think we can reduce this. We can reduce this pull request significantly in size with focus on package by package, and focus strictly only on ES6 and disregarding any of the stylistic changes, unless that stylistic change affects the line that we are changing as well. So again, this goes to the concept of one change at a time. Don't overload on stuff. And again, this is potential features. So since nobody's coming in, I'm taking off my headphones, since they have also already turned off. But again, if you want to join me on stage, if you have questions, comments, or want to do stuff together, feel free to join me. And without further ado, let's make this, let's see which. Coding. I can actually now adjust this template a little bit because we don't have that there. So let's move it to the side here and let's get coding. Okay, so first things first, let's see, ES6. Let's take a look at what we are actually, the packages we are dealing here with. The UI package is just old, out of date, with, as you can see here, with like these super old packages, which actually right now here is a good one to do this, to officially deprecate the package. It's been a while since it has. So this, again, a quick you can go from actually master to a feature deprecate UI package. Deprecate UI package in deprecated since Meteor 1. Just making it official using the new definition. So just by this, as you can see, there's a lot of potential small victories that you can have by going in and making little things like that. I'll get for independent release, so it would be independent of and it's not critical, so it's there. So also, if you like, kind of look at the name, you can kind of, I think, see kind of the old intentions or like the initial intentions that were there behind Meteor, that Blaze is going to be the front end, and this is way before React, and maybe the other competing one at the time was Angular. And English? Okay. No. So it was completely different environment, and for some reason Meteor wasn't like really able to fully capitalize on this, which it's a shame, but that's how things are. So let's go back to master and let us take a look on the other packages. Let's take, okay, so Blaze has a lot of stuff. We have Blaze hot. So let's take a look. So the debug only doesn't have a documentation because that's the official documentations. HMR, it has ECMAScript, which, yes, this package, as you can see, is fully up to date. Maybe just one thing here so it doesn't complain. Something here since we are at it. And the only thing I would like kind of look at using weak map. You can make, again, these are not some things that you really add, but this is the style. It's not something that you should be, like semicolons, adding missing semicolons and stuff like that is not for pull request on its own, especially since it doesn't really matter. But we have a variable here. So there is a little bit of modernization needed here. So let's see. And the question is, should be const or let? I think let is. So one variable managed to sneak through here. Let's see over here, do we have any variables? Yes, one managed to sneak through. If you're just doing this quick fix, it's fine to add here, the missing semicolons. So small changes like this shouldn't be like on its own. They should be part of, if you are making a general small fix or change somewhere else. Another big part thing to look up here that I would like to do is to check our modules version. If we have version 1, that's a lot of stuff. So for that, it's here show modules and see the latest one. So here it's on version 6.0.16. The latest one is 19. Let's do also ECMAScript 0.16.7. And also Meteor show templating runtime 1.6.3, and added also the last one. So we're just updating the placement, just the dependencies. Wow, this one is advanced to 0.5.3. And I think that's just a patch release. So we are just doing that, which is good for resolutions, because this makes sure that you get hopefully the newest version easier, and there's nothing it's not like holding you back. So we have another nice feature. Blaze hot. That's update. And here we have date, and then these in Blaze hot. Dependencies and added two variables replaced to var with let. Also add some missing semicolons in English. So then, boom, another quick victory. And so on and so forth. So like that. If anything, once we actually get then to making a release, this will have to be added all into the changelog, since we are kind of doing it against master. It's not sure which release it's going to be in, so we have to kind of do it once the time comes. If you are actually doing this against a specific release, then it's good practice to already add it into the changelog if it's already established and exists, so that you save the maintainers some time. All right. So that was Blaze Hot. Also very quick, Blaze HTML templates is just really templating, so nothing to do there. Blaze tools will be doing. Let's just see if we can get, okay, caching HTML compiler. I think there was a pull request when I'm moving this back to core for various reasons. Let me check on that, because I'm pretty sure I do have that. So yes. So this is what we have here. Static HTML depends on much of Blaze. And the idea of this pull request, which I should need to actually, this is a good idea to quickly update this, because it's there we go. It's been a while, and we really love this to get back into Devel. Why is my Devel here? So let me put that, and I'm going to do this. If it doesn't freeze, yikes! That's not nice. Let's also check what Zoran has been saying here. I think they should continue to use the HTML caching compiler package instead of copying its code. The package isn't directly related to Blaze, and it's used by non-Blaze build plugins. Correct. Since all of its code is duplicated in static HTML tools, there isn't much benefit to not using the package and creating more general way to handle errors would benefit other packages. I could make this weak, which would fix Blaze packages. Okay. So I do recall there was something with the compiler error that was kind of shared, or that was not that Blaze specific. Okay, time to start. Quick break. But I just have recently one. So these things I need to look into and actually finish it up, because then again, having that ready, or kind of get these things finished up, would be absolutely amazing. So in this case, let's use the current, not important. Feature static. Which one is that minifier? So let's just use Devel, not really something that we want to deal with. Tests. Mongo 1.15 is bigger than 1.9. Or actually, I think it might have some specific reason. So let's just keep things on development, how they see this. Because this is and that should resolve any issues. So that should probably be another stream, me just getting sorted out. So that is so strange. Why didn't we just fix these things? Let's try this again. Where is this one coming from, this merge? What is happening? Maybe it was something with my local, but that's so strange. That should not be happening. Let's push it and see what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have that sorted out. The main thing of this is to just get the test running to see if it actually fixes the issue. And I hope it will be able to be merged. Definitely not. It's possible to merge. Tests are running. Chelsea, so I will have to kind of get back to this. So this is they're not on caching HTML compiler. And just double check here on ECMAScript version. And we want to see the caching compiler version, which is 1.2.2. So that's correct. Let's quickly check again for the latest version of is empty. So that one is 4.4. Great. We could potentially add here types, but I think that's not necessary. Okay, then there's templating tools here as well. And tools, let's see. Is 1.2.2. Okay, so this one looks also that it's already changed. But we do have some old stuff here. Let's keep that. Of course, you have some missing semicolons. That always depends on who's doing that. It's also complaining here. And ES6, which we have to then check where is JS hint or anything like that defined, which it is not here. Let's actually see, do we have any JS hint? Oh, that's old. It's for lint. Undefined true. Okay, so it doesn't seem to be. Where is this old JS hint package? What is that actually doing? Looks like nothing. Or specifically, it's empty. So that would be something that we would have to check with someone who actually knows what that's supposed to do. But we do have a problem that it's not, or it's throwing issues with this being or not being the ES6. So ES version 6. And let's take a quick look here, JS hint. If we can I want the documentation, not some testing to go. So let's take a look. If we maybe can just do .js hint. Where was it? Hint RC hint, JS hint RC. And hint fix like that. Now, yeah, we did that, and still have that issue. Thing is, we have undefined true. The one we saw in the previous one, so here. See, maybe if that's something in my setting. JS hint. Yeah. It has the custom configuration file. So let's just go to the default here and see if, voila. So that will help us a little bit. So that's, again, and this one is actually what we should be doing here is to import this caching compiler. And if you look here, that's probably imported from here. Which is then imported from the Meteor one, most likely. Caching compiler, yes. So that one is exported there. We go back all the way here, so we should be able to do just... Oh, AI figured that one out, so... That fixes one issue of import. This is left as global, and that's something that you have to really start fixing after Meteor 3 to get the globals into exports and all that stuff. So that hopefully it works. Because the globals was how it was used back in Meteor 1 and back in the beginning, because of pretty much everything was, all these different things were global. It still works across the spectrum, but it's of course not recommended for many reasons, primarily for comfort, so that you know where the heck is this coming from. So that's but in the old it was the global, so it could be accessed by everything and all that stuff. So ease of access. This one is hopefully done. I am going back to my. Actually, I do not want to do that because I'm working on Blaze. Wait. Where is Blaze? Yikes, that's not good. That was some old version of Blaze. So let's put this here. Let's move to master. Pop. Still happy. Here, we'll just update. Blaze latest. So that's it. Or actually, do I want to update it to latest? That's a good. No, I want to come back here because I think there is a corresponding branch in Blaze. Blaze to this, so I will have to actually look back here and take a look. Caching, and so there's some ES6 already migrations done in the past, or well, maybe I was incorrect. Maybe I don't have that. Or if anything, I'll have to find it again. So let's go back here to master and let's get this. Let's get this sorted out. So, caching, HTML compiler, missing import, few additions, app.js hint rc code help with E6 transition. Oh no, I put it accidentally by master, but that's fine because I can still, since I haven't pushed it, create update this. I could just put it as a branch, submit, and then I can just reset. It's very, very important to keep everything in branches. Otherwise, chaos ensues. So, yes, let's. Oops, not this one. This one I want to check on more for Blaze. These. So. Few columns. Great, done. And which one will be next? let's see if we have any quick victories. HTML is big. HTML.js I think will be doable. Observe sequence, space bars, tests, templating. Handlebars. Don't really have I think any code here, which is kind of strange. But let me update that. So that is, this one is a strange one. In depths. Again, we'll do our if we cannot potentially deprecate this one, but I do recall this being in other places a lot. So because of this templating runtime and compiler. So that might be requiring quite a lot of other stuff. Speaking of templating compiler, let's take a look at the updating packages here, or dependencies 7. Usually, oftentimes, very quick wins for the most part, especially if you have some only minor. Okay. This is so it's a build tool, so let's leave it there. Let's see if the runtime is no, that's and tools. Those are much bigger. So again, more quick, easy wins that you can replicate if you want to in the future. And we are just updating dependencies for templating compiler. Now, it's almost another hour, and we haven't really done, well, we have done 2 for now 5 pull requests, which are in the simple category. Just puts everything into perspective, how everything like this takes time. Check. Make sure everything is working properly. Well, not even working properly, just to check the version numbers. Would be different story. There was like, larger version update that would really be quite a big thing, because then I would have to check that it's working in all the forms and all that stuff. So now let's take on this package and see what heads and tails we can make out of this. So Blaze HTML templates, just checking the package here, not doing anything else. Blaze tools, and again, nothing really doing on here than just commas. Over here, it's starting to do more stuff. Not exactly sure this is the correct thing, because if you look at it, it's changing the logic here. It's removing this first if statement, which makes it more prone to issue. I inserted 2JS. So it's doing a lot of, again, additional things that the PR shouldn't do without specifically explaining it. Let's take a quick look here at the beginning of the comment if the author is explaining that. 367. Yeah, so it's doing their extra stuff, and you can see all my pull records so far are passing. So that's big no. You want to avoid changing things like that, because especially in this case I can see potential unwanted things happening as a result of this. So we have to approach this carefully. That's Blaze tools. Let's start with preamble. Things are being imported. All is well, nothing there. And then we go here to our appending. But actually also, while we are at it, again, let's push things up. That's still the same. Advanced with tiny test, and then we have HTML tools, which is still around 1.3. So bit of it, some stuff here. DOT2JS. So this is, again, nothing that really we want to change here. What we really want to change is, any variables to constants and stuff, or let functions and all that stuff. That's our primary concern with this. Anything else is secondary, or secondary in that we don't want to touch it. Because again, then it makes it harder to review. And again, unintended consequences. Haven't we defined this guy already? Let I, so it's going to be constant. So these are like the only changes that should be done in these cases, and then you can add more onto it. Yes, we could make this into template literal. Let's see. Another question I ask here is JS template literal comments, string concatenations. At the moment, and that was Firefox 50, so 2016. So at that time, it's faster. I would like to see if we have any more up-to-date data. So let's see, 2017, 2016, 17. Okay, so it makes no difference, at least according to this back then. 2019. So again, this is why there's no need to change it. You will gain really nothing out of that, and something in the future if anybody wants to play with that. Okay, that's one. And this one is going to be annoying. It's a lot of them. So, actually, question: we have ECMAScript? Yeah, we have. Why wasn't this done a while ago? Run value would be kind of embarrassing, I would say, that if if I did all this work and then forgot to add the ECMAScript package, actually make it work properly. I think we are good here. Let's look at tokens here. Next step would be, of course, to move this to TypeScript. And for tokens like this, are they being used only here, or do we also need to export them? That's, again, that's yikes. Let's see where they're being used at. Later on in the Unicode class. So yes, we have Unicode class, and again, that one is being used only here. Okay. And only here. And only here. Same thing with these guys. In this function. So the exports here are then done. So again, that looks like somebody previously added the ECMAScript package, which also includes the modules package, done the export, and that was it, which is also fine. For everyone, const will be all constants. Value is like oops, no, rest is flat. Flat. It's also not interesting. So go on. Today these tools are going to tell me if I made a mistake. And yeah, Blaze tools seems to be done. Let's take a quick stretch. And as Pomodoro dictates, quick break. And we'll soon continue. These things like are here is to be, it's not bad. I think it's fine, but it's here was that one that I wanted that I thought was really good. That also Jan mentioned. Line 140 something in the JS 40, yeah. So is the last here. Okay. A bit like that. So that's one thing that I mentioned before that we wanted to do. Then these things should be fine. And then just the beginning, which I'm letting to remain the same as there. Oops. And yeah, this is from what we have seen. Let's quickly check the tokens here. Yeah, which since he changed this quotation mark, it went absolutely insane. And he used here underscore scanner instead of scanner. Why? Because I do not see scanner used for anything else, so why? That strikes me as strange. And from a time where the context of function sometimes was a bit questionable. Yeah, doing here a couple of things strange. So, but who knows? Maybe once we run the test, it's going to punish me. So let's move back here to master and feature. This is Blaze to 6. I'm going to say, let's see. I'm going to split this up so it's easier to review. First update Blaze to depths. And again, this is so that it's easier to kind of do the review, or if there's like anything that they don't like, then we can be worked on. You see, if it's just quick focus, great variable names in Blaze tool. So this way, I'm still opening a possibility that there might be some more additional changes. And let's see. It's 397. Oops, I am in space, node stub dependencies update. This probably fails because of the wrong npm version, but that's a different story. So we want to add this thing. Place to ES6. Dependencies of place tool create alt to const simplified version so far of 0.7. Say also some changes which I'm not that certain about. So we have that going. And we have a lot of Blaze. So we have that, we have Blaze tools. This done. We have the UI and templating package also done. A few more. Okay. So with that all said and done, let's see. Yes, okay, let me do the Blaze package. And then we can probably move on. And we have a guest here, Daniel. So let me switch to a better look. Hey, Daniel, how are you doing?
Hi, fine. Like, it's really difficult to concentrate on doing other work when I'm listening to your stream all the time. So I'm kind of like, oh, no, I should do something here. And I just wanted to say hi and just support you a little bit because you've been at this continuously for 2 hours now. So I think it's nice to have some company, right?
Yeah, thank you very much.
And I got some time, maybe not too much. I don't know when my family will come home actually, but I thought I'd just check in and say hi and see what you're up to. I followed along mostly the Blaze stuff you did with the other Jan, and I can see that you're in the middle of this big refactoring thing right now.
Yeah, exactly. Right now I am in the middle of taking up the old ES6 pull request that we had, the 397, and moving that into separate packages and updating everything. So
I remember I actually reviewed that like 6 months ago or something, and I think it was mostly fine. It looked automated, right? I think he used some tooling or his IDE to do it. So I thought it looked pretty good. Like there was the other one you looked at before, which did not look as well. But this one I thought would be probably good. So this is just my general thing.
The issue there was the issue there is it's too many changes. It's a tool, so that creates another problem that there's some unnecessary changes, so it makes it hard to review. And actually now when I was reviewing, there were a few things in all the packages that just didn't look right, or it was kind of, I think, doing too much. So I've kind of scaled it down a little bit as well. So that's one thing. The problem also with like if you like do changes like with the tool like this, it needs to be merged immediately so that and possibly when you have like everything when it's like there is kind of a lull when you have just released the version and everything is done, so that before anybody else starts working on it again, they
and
have.
Also maybe with this kind of amount of size, basically you can't just only review it, like spot check it if it looks good, and then basically you have to merge it and run the tests and have people use it, I think, actually. And because you can't like really review 600,000 changes, right? Like so.
Yeah, well, in this case it's 75 files, but some of them are super long, and my goal right now before I check out is to do the bigger ones, which is the Blaze package itself. And then maybe at some other point, or I'll leave that to kind of other people hopefully inspired by this to kind of finish off of the work or build on top of my work. Part of this also I'm also updating the other dependencies as I go.
I saw it.
So there is a lot to do. But so Blaze right now, the package I'm doing will be the last thing before I go, because it's
okay.
Getting to a point where I can no longer concentrate properly.
Yeah. If you want me to along, or I can just hang back, or I can also leave, like as you wish. Just if you want to have a rubber duck, I'll be here. Finish your work if you like, or as you wish.
So I'll just do that, and I think people watching this later on, the main thing here is to kind of show you how to do things like these. So I'm going to actually let's go back here to kind of show you how I'm doing it with all the different branches and all that stuff, which sometimes is the problem if you kind of build on top of each other, because for example in one of the branches I did the .js hint rc file, so it gave better hints in the editor, but then you have to wait until that is merged and other stuff, so that kind of creates some issues. So now you can see it's not found and all that stuff, but let's get back here quickly. One thing that I like doing here, or what this PR provides, is that it has the imports already figured out, so I don't have to worry about it. And in some cases, like right here on the top, I can do it's a let, so nice one. And then here comes like another problem. Is here like it creates the author creates your class, while here it's just a global constant.
And so you're doing this manually now? You're moving over these things manually?
Yes, and I'm so that's because I'm also kind of like looking at this, and I'm like, okay, he creates your class, and
actually I like that he changed the syntax, like that he changed to a more modern way of.
Yes, but I think that's also another problem with this, because he changed it more to a modern syntax, which yes, it's fine, but I think these things, as if you then look back, needs to be done step by step, especially for big production package like Blaze, where you have where there is a lot of people dependent on it and other things. So I don't prefer to do it like this. So what I'm doing here is I'm keeping as much of the old as possible, at least at this stage. And I'm perfectly fine. I like to then add here the class, do the exporting and all that stuff. But at this point, let's see it, because then he has to do here like Blaze.attribute handler, but it has to be done here as well. So in this case, it might be fine to really get the class itself, which might also simplify the code here. So this might be like an exception, but I'm still very worried
Careful.
Not to do this unless it kind of gets broken.
The other thing, though, is now if you start doing this, it should be consistent, right? So I think with this kind of thing, if you start doing it and he did it for everything, either you jump all the way or, having a mix is probably even worse in this case, I mean, like to have two patterns for this kind of thing in one package.
Exactly. So I think that this change would be better in its own pull request.
Yes.
That just does this change and does it maybe across maybe all these packages, because here I'm just focusing on really the basics. And I'm just right now just changing the the variables to constants, and like if there's like anything. For example, before there was an issue with using template literals, instead of like having a string, then plus, then some value, then plus a string. I was like, even this, I do not want to change, because first of all, I look it up, and at least at the time, 7 years ago when this kind of first appeared, still, the old concatenation was, I believe, faster than template literals. I think today is different, probably, given the development. But still, I do not, and it will be fine to change it. But again, that's, I think, something.
If you do this now, is it possible to keep the rest, to do the other changes later? Is it still fine? Which branch do you do these changes?
So I'm doing this in separate branch on its own. So that way, here we have this again. So there's a lot of calls to the attribute things. So again, one step at a time. So first I just do the constants and let's potentially some other things that's like so outdated, or if I know there's like a faster, better way that makes sense, that there's like absolutely no chance that something is going to break, and it's kind of necessary to make it maybe the code more readable or something like that, then I'll do it. But other than that, try to touch things as much as minimal as I can. Part of it is because I'm also not, I'm just, I could say, a manager when it comes to Blaze. I'm not, an active developer or anything like that. So I'll leave changes like that with people who have more deeper understanding of this. And that reminds me, I should probably get my old project that I have with Blaze up and running again and finish building it. So that's
so with this one, I probably would actually, but I because now if you start picking and choosing from 76 files, I think like this is like manually. This is like destructuring spaghetti. I mean, like a plate of spaghetti. Like
yes.
I would actually, in this case, probably, but I would probably just like try to get some people to use this branch, you know what I mean, like with an RC release or something, or
that's planned, that this is eventually going to be in a release, RC release, either 2.8, I believe is the next one that we are planning, or it might be part of 3.0. Definitely 3.0, 2.8, we shall see if how much people
there was also an idea
emerge it
in the beginning of the year to have like a handful of Blaze canaries, like companies and people wanting to test these kind of features, and letting them run local checkouts of these more difficult or like harder to judge changes, and then get some statistical feedback there. Okay, but I don't want to keep
I also like looking at this. I see a lot of the new classes. I do believe it looks like this has already went through underscore removal, or definitely went through underscore removal. And so it is already like the things that I would have done here otherwise, because that's like another Another thing, to remove underscore in jQuery where possible, which we've discussed previously with Jan as well. That
there was a var above. If you go back, scroll up, there was another var.
Yeah, correct. Catching that. So that's 1999 X-Link.
Yeah. What is X-Link? I don't know. Yeah. Funky.
I'd be just like the original definition.
These are all the custom stuff Blaze does for all different kind of weird.
Yeah, I think you will also kind of see similar things if you really dig deep into React and similar libraries. You will see those. You will see these things in there, and that's also something that also probably need to be updated with the new versions of everything and HTML5 and stuff like that. So that's huge. Okay, anchor for localization should be let.
No, it will not work. You have to pull it out of the block.
Well, no, this is the problem. It's in Meteor client, so this is going to work. It's just
no. The let definition is block scoped. You have to make the let anchor outside and then just assign it in the if.
True.
I think.
So
just pull it out, the let, and then just do the assignment inside the if. Well, we don't know then yet. Yes, I think like this.
It would work, I think, either case, because if it's it's the if Meteor is client, then it's there, and if it's not, then it throws an error.
No, so I think because
in this it would it would then work, but it's better this way because of the new syntax, all that stuff. So let's get this going. So probably going to be const. This is also like old, the self equals this, which can be for the most part kind of moved away because it's no longer a problem as it used to be.
Sometimes you need it for something, right?
But these days there are like better ways to handle it. And so that's like nice to go to the code because you discover you're like make it possible or something
big
like
dreams
that.
Of the old people, yeah.
But this is like something that even today can be fixed. But here we'll need one for style on IE through modern browser.
I think we survived that one. I think yes.
The modern browser seems to handle static block case, so which is true.
Yeah,
so we can something that we can release because IE is dead finally. Thank God. That was a big one.
I'm sure some people still support it. I don't know. Anyway.
That's like corporate nonsense. That let me actually check here for this that I wanted to compare. That was before pretty good. 355 was the line. Yes, so he uses here this object, which we discussed with Jan previously.
It was good, right? Like because it's I think he said was before, but this checks for own properties, right? So
So that's
he did good.
So that was a really good call. And so I'm going to implement it here. So let's back a little bit, finish this. This is there for the first file. This is all that. and value is. So we have that, and then we have backward compatibility. This one is not
UI.
here.
Yes,
okay, which I actually earlier went and added pull request to deprecate it.
Yes. So, yeah, I don't know if anybody still uses that, but
it's just to make sure.
There's one project which is still using what is it? It doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah. Jade, right? I thought with the survey there was like one Jade project in the wild.
I wouldn't even know about how Jade uses Meteor. And you can also see that somebody was already, which is like another approach, like when you're like fixing up or adding a function already to use the new syntax so that you don't have to worry about anything. And we could then just go and highlight any
variables. Add a space at the end.
That's going to be the same problem. I just want to kind of see highlight and want to go through this. But here we go. Each view starts const as well. Pieces. Slovakian. Wow, that's old.
Yeah, that's also interesting always to see. Git doesn't forget. Never forget.
I wouldn't say never. Oh, sorry,
it's very difficult to make it forget, actually, when you try. The war. Okay, check it.
You know what? No, the trick. Let's I think that should be fine. Range. Here, lat. True. And view. It's cool. I'm also checking if I don't gonna catch anything. I think out of the ordinary. But most likely.
This is probably no, it's let. Yeah, okay.
There.
Oh yeah.
Score stamp. It's possible to change that. Okay. Check here. It's like really a quick initial change, and also built-ins. Check here if there's anything smart that we could use. Yeah, this is here is okay condition. It's actually
you could check if it's good, the whole file. You could pick the whole file, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. Well, the thing here is it moves things. Condition false and return double level condition. Returns false, or it was condition false, and it would. So I think this makes things easier. It makes I would say a millisecond makes this faster, just a little bit, because it doesn't changes the condition or anything like that.
Was it just not just the break there, the line break? Didn't it just? It's not.
Not just that, but you have here. It's after you check, you do condition equals false, and then you do run this, double reverse. So it saves you that processing if you just return false right there.
Yeah.
So
okay.
It will save you a few milliseconds maybe one or
No,
two.
I think it's more. Yeah, okay.
That one is I would say pretty good. Say and here this one is question if like it should be like new Blaze view. Again, that's like another.
It's interesting. Yeah, this is definitely
thing that that's why I'm not touching this because I don't
also
know.
would be like there are like some nuances sometimes, and this is
exactly, and this might actually be because of the changes that they have made here with the new reactive
the class. You mean like maybe we did the class from it? Maybe he has to do it now.
Yeah. So
because
here with the reactive variable, why there are no
that's the
parentheses,
same line, right?
That's makes me.
There was actually an error, I think, in the old one. No, new is just new. It's just it's just written weirdly. It's just too undefined. But I never read it.
If you look here at line 19, it looks like it should have them.
That's how I always write it. But probably it's okay actually not to use it if it's a class or a prototype function thing. I don't know. Probably it's fine.
It's question because here it's it kind of expects what's going to be the default.
But the default is undefined, I think, or null. What is it? I don't know. Undefined.
Yeah. Let me see if it gives us. Yeah. So it's waiting for initial value.
Exactly.
Which is undefined. We don't have to worry about it. I think it works both ways.
I would leave it like this. I think it's more natural for me to read it. I think.
Yes. Let's see if there's anything else. Then one thing that I really didn't understand is here that he constantly switches the underscore view equals view. So that's was another thing that I didn't like about this pull request, that it was.
It's like from automatic refactoring. This is all automated refactoring, and
so which
compiler takes care of not overwriting some variables, whether it might be necessary or not. I don't know.
I wasn't happy with that, and that's why I'm kind of doing this by hand. So.
Oh my God, you're crazy! It's crazy.
Well, okay. This is not something that can be always done by things. Plus, again, I'm doing this more to kind of check on things, and like here, delegate events missing here the function.
It's fine.
In this case, I think it can have, given in Meteor from my past experience, it can have some undesired.
I think this is actually similar. This is the same,
result.
I think. You think?
Yeah, I'm just keeping it, that's because it's not necessary. And here's doing here some, again, handler.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not fond of that.
Yes, this smells like automated and not necessary, maybe.
Yes. So.
Okay, I see my family coming back, so I will not keep you any further. So thank you, Jan. Sorry for if I disturbed you. Just sad.
No worries. It's fine. As I said, I'm just finishing this Blaze package, and then I will be off for the day.
Yeah, there's something to do then. I really enjoy this. I think it's very interesting to see how you work, the community organizers check these things. So thank you very much. And it's good.
Okay. Thank you.
See you.
See you around.
Bye.
So that was Daniel. Happy to have him. Oh, no op. Yeah, this is one of the, deep jQuery things. To be very careful about these things. And we could probably wait. Could be probably simplified. Let me check if they done what I think. No. It has been changed here completely, and not happy about that. That's how things are going. Fallbacks. But okay, let's do DOM range. DOM range is another long one. Again, here's the change to class. Page. I want to touch. It's not at this stage. So this file, I think in particular, will be if you want to like work more on the internals. This is definitely the, or these files are kind of the big ones to work on. Yeah, I have to always like, say that with these, very interesting how to look at it, especially like back and compare it to what was available then, and really smart people have built this out. And well, I'm sad that they've kind of went their own way because they continued. And that could have been something like really super interesting, but not as simple ways as that. It's like similar, like people oftentimes, like in politics, it's like very common, especially if you are from a country that has like coalitions or like a lot of smaller parties. Like I wonder why don't all the left-wing or right-wing parties join together and create a massive force instead of kind of being separate and kind of being picked up one by one. And the answer to that is because of human egos, part of it. Got a big part of that. So that needs sometimes to be really considered, that you don't really see inside the organization. You don't know how that thinks. And a lot of people, or not a lot of people, but some people just cannot work together for whatever reason. So that needs to be considered. That reminds me like of a course in when I was back at university, and it was like project leadership, I think, or something like that. And there was, after we were like doing our lesson about how to deal with, or we are reading and we're like responding to reading, it was how to deal with problem people that are causing problem. And very interesting for me was, or like what the teacher wrote then back to all of us is, Like, yes, we gave good answers, but one of the things that none of us considered was kicking the problem person or some of the people who are causing problems out. And that like really got me thinking, because like with university and the time we were like pretty much, we have infinite time and resources. We can, was like always constantly, we can work, with people. We can, we have enough with enough mentoring and going through things together. We can fix and resolve issues. And this was kind of like, cold water in my face, kind of realizing, that. And even like with also with more time as well, realizing like with at that time kind of realizing, sometimes it's just like not feasible to go, or like even desirable because how people can be, to kind of constantly work on people, because you have, as a company, you have to like move forward and deliver, and not deal with people problem. And now also with some more experience in life and all that stuff, some people are just not malleable to change, or like to change like this. So it might not even be possible to do that with people. So sometimes you have to go and kick people out. That's a way of life. And I do recall somebody like giving, not really like an interview, but like what he was when he was interviewing a person that goes in like into troubled companies and restructures them and throws people out and that stuff. And it's like, that person was like, oh, it must be pretty hard, to throw people out and everything. It's like, are you kidding? I love my job because I get, I go in and get rid of the people who are dead weight or who are, causing trouble, and, help the companies and the entire collectives. So, but, for me, I'm more agreeable, or I become more agreeable. So I don't really, if I like kind of take somebody on, unless they are actual problem people, I kind of try to my best to work with them on things. So that's kind of where I'm at. Okay, let's see. I want to quickly check these events to see if I am missing here something interesting. Beginning, just an interesting or good formatting choice to this to a proper list. And then he moves, or they moved it into class. So that is something I would do another time. So let's move to exceptions, halfway there. Hopefully it won't be more variables here. That's yay, easy victory. Let's quickly check if I don't see if what they are. Why is it jumping so much? So they're just playing here with. Okay, this is actually a retry. I think used to be, I think, the arguments some sort of form of potential like default or something that was handled. Better if you actually have it explicit anyhow. So lookup is next. Okay, we do have some variable. Oh, bind is function. That's going to be interesting. It's on compat with 0.9.3. This needs to be removed. I really want to do this, but this is something that, again, let's see where this is. Oh, yeah, this is like another task that you can, if you're interested in doing Blaze stuff, to go into, remove all of these compat with alt, and I think this will be for version 3. We could start removing these things. I think kind of the process first will be we stop testing for anything before version 1. Then we actually start removing the code one by one. So again, kind of to give as much runway as possible. A lot of the times, well, in this case, for example, it just, takes time. It takes, it slows the application down to constantly look for the old things. So here we have the arguments, which that look up and why is it 110? Where is that? App helper. Okay, no. Here we go, wrap helper. So completely removed, and same thing here, arcs. So it could be just this. And it's not backing it out, which is probably why, because it's kind of a shorthand that used to work, and I'm not sure if it's actually going to be working. Let's see here in the future. So, do a bit more future proofing here. I will have to really look. Look out template. No, that one looks like honest. Let. Okay, do it. Let. See if we have any more. Let's see over here. Oh, let's see if we have. Look up a global helper. Yeah, I agree. The original here is needlessly complicated if function that should not be. That. It's much more understandable. Not much we can do above here, so. That's fine. Okay, materializer. I'm thinking that this is a lot of removal of code, which would suggest that it's then added here. So it's mostly positioning. Again, this just creates chaos. So I avoid as much as possible. Because it's and especially again, as we have like talked with Daniel as well, if you make it like this, it needs to be at a very specific time in the development cycle where everybody kind of moved on to work on things so that they can kind of start. This is what materializer. This is a prime candidate. Why did it jump again? What the heck is wrong with this thing? for a proper oh, that's interesting. That's missing. Let's see if we can. Okay, here we go. Got a new mouse. It should not be jumping like this on me. Type. So if raw attributes where was the 4? Damn it. No, I lost it. No, okay, here we go. Then it's the what the actual if raw tags. Yes, this is what I was looking for. Wait, handle this. Okay, that's its problem. Okay, package. Let's first check our dependencies here. 1.3.2 check. Sequence. Reactive variable that we saw there. Order is dict. I don't recall ever. Which 62? No, 16.7. I will check here the HTML/JS. Great. 16.7. Reactive 4 was 12. Tracker is 1.3.2. Helpers. 1. And we have these tools. Fine, okay. See preamble. Forward. Test. Yikes. Let's Help myself a little bit. Run diff is the same. Next. Input. Okay. If no value. I love it when it's so simple. And hopefully doing this fast is not, I'm hopefully not missing anything crucial. But so far it's repetitive, so things are working fine. Element. So far so good. Counter here looks like, yes, that one is definitely alike. Buff. Push, 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 push. Is it overwritten somewhere? Doesn't look like it, so it's const. Template, view, parent, no description, blah. Okay. Number. That could be, well, it's could be both. Let const error here somewhere. So I'll have to go back and check all of those. If check. Oops. Once you get the hang of it, it's usually then it's pretty. Okay, so we reach that. Okay, start and end. I accidentally have done that. So fixes it. The same probably issue here. Spell and yes, one more issue here, and we are all set. And let's see what we have here. It's going to be the same thing because it's template. So let's see how we can manage to do this. I already see. Some issues that I already caused. actions. Okay, I was hoping that they were going to do it another way. Or this might be something to actually check in the future and fix. Dict. Let, because it's probably going to be changing. Definitely changing. Where is it? Site. Data. Oh, there. View. Place. Fire. Destroy. Indexes. Okay. Here. HTML, JS. I'm seeing something here. Not really appearing. This is, let's see, CBS. And it's definitely somewhere here, but it's just not showing. So I'm going to continue and have to come. Or it might have been, okay, it might have been just because I move these things like this. It's annoying. Result, boom, boom, old view. Func equals, so that's let. This one is this is this. Index usually changes. So if it's not declared, then it's pretty clear that it's going to be replaced. Range, nope. Clauses, parts. Okay, some errors here. Yep, that was obvious. That's their mistake and view. Right. Anything else? View name, okay. And that leads us to view tests, which you guessed it, it's going to be a lot of replacing, but actually no. This one looks quiet. Fast. Right, and the last part on this crazy adventure is to check if we have the latest Lodash versions. Because one never knows. And let me just also quickly see if from this what we have fixed, if there's anything. Yeah, okay, here we have in preamble. This thing. So let's check that. Yes, arc slice. Fine. Best. So see. So I think this might be actually a slight optimization. Yeah, this will probably do a slight speed increase there. Just a slight one, not really. Render test we can skip. That should not be really changed. Okay, template. Let's see here. Yeah, going back to class is nice, but makes it difficult to double check that nothing else has changed. So I'm just quickly scanning through to see if I see anything that's worthy of moving over. Distractioning like this. In this case, it would be if it was. Okay, that's very strange. Template. So yeah, that's we can just do options. Voila, we are all happy. saved us some time. So I guess shows either it was getting the person was getting tired as me, and or it was just like just pure run through some conversion and not how, but I, either case, especially if at this stage, I wouldn't be surprised if that person was just getting tired and missed that thing. Very easy to do. View. Okay. So on view, we have the option here to do the import. I'm certain that the imports are definitely not a tool unless the person made some superb tool, and I would love to use that it can recognize these imports. We were on view, so let's, because that's, so it's kind of like probably a little bit of both there. And because it has elements of kind of both, so it probably run through some tool, then did some other things. Okay, first node, is it? No, because that's here. So this is just because it has been changed. Let's just add extra line for readability. So constant. Oh, interesting. This is definitely not. So let's find this here. View first. So view.set attribute. View.set attribute. That's okay. So I'm more back to leaning of this is actually somebody took the time to do it. This is pretty good update. I would not have thought of myself. This is pretty cool. Go down hook. Yeah, not bad, not bad. And create view here. It's a bit confusing. Because if you look at it, view is false. What am I missing here? So we start with the create view, then it's view surrender attribute true. And it's like so neutralize view, not expand. Line 356. So 3, 5. Oh, it's interesting. Also, this one is here as well. All of it. Here. I did not copy it from here. It's under true, then it says there's HTML, blah, 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 and then it's false. Guess I will need Jan to explain to me what's happening here because it's not entirely clear to me. Going forward, I will have to relay. Look at GitHub is freaking out for some reason. So I'm going to, if GitHub allows, this vendor check. No. What the heck? We have another. Thing. That's what we want here. It's this. Correct? Yes. Oh, that's interesting. For 8.2, how do you deal with that for 8.2? And view if rendering. Okay, so it's still using it here. So from set, well, if there is a set attribute, is there a view.get attribute? Yeah. So I think this needs to be the whole modernized and updated with all these possibilities. That's a good catch that was there. And I'm not putting the get attributes there just in case that there is some unwanted action that would not want to trigger, but with this, set attribute, I'm pretty confident. But also goes back to Jan's point that a full review of all of this, maybe complete rewrite, will be needed. Okay, so and then we are view tested. So with that, I've still promised to do these npm checks. Not skirt on that. So npm load-has 452. These are pretty fine, 309. But it's good to check them because at least from my experiences with these utilities function, you want to absolutely keep them up to date because they are the most exploited when it comes to security. So with this said, update Blaze package to ES6. Go with that, push it, create a pull request. So let's move up. Yeah. GitHub looks like it's with these. That's like another issue with GitHub, or not the issue with GitHub, but like with these long updates, or like when you have a lot of files, it kind of stretches the limits of what could be nicely added to the displayed on there. So was it 3, 7? Taking creation. Blaze package. Which in is 6. So these. This way. That's there. And why did Blaze to fail? Should not fail. If it fails, then that means that something went very, very wrong. Or it got stuck on something. So I will have to review that to figure out what exactly went wrong. See how many files have been changed. Only 4. Updates, that's tiny tests. And see if maybe I did const something that should have been let. Completely possible. So that will have to be reviewed. Anyhow, that is it for me today. Let's move back here. Oh, thank you everybody who stopped by, Daniel and everybody else. If you like what I'm doing, would like to support me, share, like, and subscribe. You can also sponsor me via GitHub at Storyteller CZ. That's also where you can find me on most social media. In the Meteor community, I'm a Storyteller. And I will see you next week. Not exactly sure what the topic is going to be, but I'm sure the rest of the week is going to inspire me to something interesting. So without further ado, thank you again very much. That's it for today, and see you next time. And I hope to also see you in the GitHub repositories for Meteor and Blaze. Good night.